Hi, I'm Todd with Auto Customs. Today we're going to install the Gator FX3 hard folding tonneau cover on this 2015 GMC Sierra. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to locate the passenger side rail. We've got an aluminum tab that comes out of the front of it, points to the inside of the bed. We're going to take that rail, and you notice it's got a flange on there. It's going to hang right on top of the bed cap. It's going to slide all the way up to the bulkhead where it's touching the bulkhead. Now once it's touching the bulkhead and sitting nice and level, we're going to go ahead and start installing the clamps. Now that we've got the rail in place, we're going to spread the clamp all the way apart and put it into the bed cap. We want to make sure that the bottom side of the clamp is above the inside flange on the bed cap. Once that's in place, we're going to make sure that the teeth on the clamp are married into the grooves on the rail and slide it as far forward as we can get it. Then holding that together, we're going to make it finger tight, and once it's finger tight, we're going to get it just to where it's just starting to squeeze down on the bed cap. Once it's squeezing down the bed cap, we're going to put pressure on the top, making sure that it's all the way up against the bulkhead, and then we can finish tightening down that clamp using a 9/16 socket. The next clamp, we're going to go about center ways in the bed. We're going to install that the exact same way. Now for the rear clamp, we're going to do the exact same process. And we're going to move it back as far back as we can get. Tighten it down by hand. And as we tighten this one down, we're going to want to reach all the way to the back of the bed and push down on that rail to make sure we have a good seal across the top of the bed cap before we tighten it down. We're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Okay, next we're going to install the bulkhead seal. I've already wiped down the bulkhead with alcohol to get a good contact. We're just going to peel away the tape protector. We're going to put that bulkhead seal all the way to the inside of the bulkhead, the farthest back away from the cab as possible. Now if you have a bed liner that wraps over top of the bulkhead seal will not be necessary. Now we're going to cut the excess bulkhead seal off and stick it into place right to the edge of the bed cap. All right, next we're going to take and drop the cover down in between the rails. We want to make sure that the frame of the cover is in between the insides of the rails. Once we have that in place, we're going to fold this back. We're going to take the front panel, it's about 6 inches long. We're going to set it and push it forward to where it goes just over top of the bulkhead. That way this seal is over top of the bulkhead, and we want the frame of the cover to rest against the bulkhead. And this time we're going to take our provided elevator bolts, put them through the holes in the cover, down into the rail, and do that on both sides. All right, now we're going to locate where the elevator bolt is coming down through the tab on the rail. We're going to take a rubber washer, followed by a flat washer, then a lock washer, and the star nut. We're going to get that on there and just get the thread started on the star nut. We're going to do that on both sides. Now with the cover loosely attached to the rails, we're going to go ahead and fold it back towards the tailgate. Every panel coming down, we're going to make sure it's nice and centered in between the rails. We're going to make sure that it's in the right spot in relation to the tailgate. At this time we can shift it back and forth or side to side to make sure everything is going to install properly. Once it's nice and centered, we can go up and tighten the elevator bolts. Okay, now so we've got the bed tread in here. We've already made a relief cut in the bed tread because we got a little plug that we can pop out that accesses right into the stake hole pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and push our drain tube right into that hole. We're going to come up to see where it's going to meet the spigot. Cut that off. Let's plug it in. We want to make sure that our drain tube is not kinking so it can allow water to flow through. We repeat that same process on the other side. Okay, now we're going to take our prop rod. It's going to go right to this ball stud. We're going to snap it in place, bring it up, and drop it into the cradle. Now that we've got that installed, I'm going to show you how to use it real quick. Take the prop rod, we rotate it up. Then we take our knob, we tighten it down. That'll hold this cover in place. If we want to fold the cover back down, we just loosen the knob. Make sure you tighten that if it's not in use so it doesn't vibrate and drop into the bed. It rotates down and drops into the cradle. Now we got our bump stops that are attached to the back panel. We're going to untape them and fold the cover back. Now when we fold the cover up towards the cab, we're going to see where the cover contacts the cab right up next to that third brake light. So we're actually only going to need about 2 of these bump stops. What we're going to do is we're going to peel off the 3M tape and stick them to the top portion of the cover so that we're protecting the cover against the brake light. In a lot of cases, the side seals a lot of times won't be sitting flat right away. A little bit of time out in the bright sunlight will cause those to lay down. If it's cold, you might take a hairdryer or a heat gun and heat that up so it lays down flat. And that will conclude the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.